This is KGW News at Sunrise.
I never wanted to die. I don't want to die, but my brain every day, I have to fight those thoughts.
Today, Oregon lawmakers will hear testimony on 2 bills that would fund suicide prevention. Coming up, hear from advocates who plan to speak at the Capitol to try and destigmatize mental health. And an update on the Nike store in Northeast Portland that closed back in November after a rash of thefts. While it remains closed, the shoe company sent a letter to the Portland mayor's office. We'll tell you what they're asking for. Plus,
all the dreams, all the visualizing that we're going to win came true, and now you can experience and relax and enjoy the win.
It's frustrating not to win, but, it is what it is. Move on.
I can relate to that frustration a little bit this morning, to be honest with you. The Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champions. And because of that, Rod Hill and I have some scores to settle this morning. We made a lot last week of the fact that Rod's favorite team, the Chiefs, was taking on my favorite team, the Eagles, in the Super Bowl. I actually got a text, not even from my own uncle, my wife's uncle. Texted me yesterday morning and says, good luck to the Eagles today. I said, yeah, 43-21, the Eagles are going to win. And he said, that'll be good for you. And he said, that'll be bad for Rod. The only problem with that story is it didn't turn out that way.
This is your wife's uncle.
Yes.
Who feels very good for me this morning. That's wonderful to hear.
I didn't read it that way.
congratulations. It was a great game.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It really was.
And we will settle up on our bets coming up at about 5:15. But I know you also have a busy weather day.
I do. So despite my appearance, I am a very serious weatherman. And here we go with the weather wall, which basically is lit up with advisories or warnings for snow. So let's just take you through this. During the day today, developing snow gets heavy over the Cascades and eventually over the Coast Range. Those are storm warnings in purple. The white colors from Eugene up to Longview, that's a winter weather advisory for snow. This mainly picks up this evening into the overnight hours. And then these are kind of garden variety wind advisories, including you folks up in the Dalles, where it'll be west winds later today at 45 miles per hour. That's kind of typical, right? All right, so the front is just now starting to move in. Remember, this is Gulf of Alaskan air. Scattered showers pick up. It'll be rain showers during the day today, heavy at times and breezy. 42 right now, will be 42 at 5 p.m. I have snow levels dropping to 1,000 feet as soon as 6 p.m. tonight. For accumulating snow, we'll talk more about that coming up.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Rod. Today in Salem, there is a big push for more mental health support in Oregon. Yeah, state lawmakers are considering several bills aimed at suicide prevention. Catherine Cook spoke with advocates who will be at the Capitol to make their case.
I never wanted to die. I don't want to die, but my brain every day, I have to fight those thoughts because I do live with chronic suicidal ideation.
Angela Perry has found a way to turn her pain into purpose.
Our goal is to give others hope.
She's board chair of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention Oregon chapter, and she's a staunch advocate for destigmatizing mental health.
I just hope other people are able to see it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to stay there.
On Monday, Angela and other advocates will be in Salem. They'll offer testimony on 3 bills aimed at supporting suicide prevention services. 2 go before lawmakers on Monday. Those bills focus on suicide prevention by supporting training resources for medical professionals. Last week, a House committee heard testimony on a 3rd bill, HB 2757. It asks lawmakers to support a 50-cent cell phone tax to fund services connected to 988. It works like 911. But callers are routed straight to mental health crisis lines. Since Oregon transitioned to 988 in July, call centers like Lines for Life have received an average of 684 more calls per month. So it's working. But advocates say in order to meet that growing need, this additional funding is critical.
The 988 system has brought me hope that I haven't had in over 30 years, but the work is not complete.
We have a sense of urgency about its passage because it's an essential element of our work to save lives and reduce Oregon's high suicide rate.
According to the CDC, Oregon ranks 13th in the nation for deaths by suicide. It's a statistic that hits Angela in a very personal way, even beyond her own struggles. In 2017, her Aunt Jean died by suicide. She lived just a few miles from this park.
We used to come and walk around here when I was struggling with my mental health. She's the one who talked me into going back to therapy. So part of the reason why I am still here today.
And why she's still here for others.
Suicide doesn't have to be the end answer.
In Tigard, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
If you or someone you know is in crisis or you just need somebody to talk to, call 988. You'll be connected with local organizations and resources.
All right, let's take a look at some other local headlines that we're following this morning. And we start in Clark County, where there's a special election on tap tomorrow. Several local resolutions are on the table, including 4 school levies. Both Vancouver and Washougal school districts are asking voters to approve replacement levies that would keep funding in place for existing programs. Ballots must be postmarked by tomorrow in order for your votes to count, and drop boxes will be available until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. This is a live look this morning at the Morrison Bridge in downtown Portland, which is back open after a weekend closure for painting and maintenance. The bridge actually reopened early because it wasn't supposed to open back up until 5 o'clock this morning, but it did open back up yesterday. County officials say they do have some more weekend closures planned for the end of this month and the start of next month. Last headline here, a high surf advisory in place on the Oregon and Washington coasts over the next 2 days. It will officially go into effect this afternoon and is expected to last through tomorrow, with the possibility of waves up to 25 feet high. Sneaker waves, rolling logs, and erosion are all real possibilities because of the weather coming up today and tomorrow along the coast. And that's a look at some of this morning's local headlines.
We've been talking about businesses moving out of Portland because of an increase in crime. And in recent months, more have threatened to leave if the city doesn't do something about it. But some are finding a way to stay in the city. The once booming Lloyd Center Mall became nearly empty after most of its big department stores and other businesses left over the last decade. Now it is seeing a resurgence. The owner of Stack and Kicks started his business out of the trunk of his car almost 13 years ago and recently moved into his store in the Lloyd Center. David Jefferson says so far business has been good and he's glad he made the decision to move in.
I sleep better. I don't think twice about it. All the time I had to check my camera when my store was on Sandy just to see if anything was going on. If I was traveling out of town, I had to check the camera to see if anybody was in there, if there's any moves being made.
Floating World Comics also recently moved in after leaving its Old Town location because of crime. Palette Portland is also leaving downtown over crime and may be moving into the Lloyd Center soon as well.
Nike is proposing a new solution to keep its Portland stores open. The store on Northeast MLK abruptly closed back in November. Now, according to the Oregonian, Nike is asking the city to hire off-duty police officers to provide security, and Nike will cover the cost. Late last year, a KGW investigation analyzed Portland crime data and found the Nike outlet reported more than 400 shoplifting cases since 2019. Nike says the key here is officers have the authority to make arrests as opposed to security officers or Nike employees. The mayor's office told the Oregonian meetings between Nike and the city are ongoing as they look for solutions.
Look at all those Chiefs fans celebrating last night.
Fine Americans.
Fine Americans, says Rod Hill. Kansas City beating Philadelphia in Super Bowl 57 last night, 38-35 the final score. This Chiefs party played out at Pono Brewing in Northeast Portland.
We love having the same, all of us pull on the same rope here, and all of us, pull for Kansas City in the same bar, and that's what makes it really fun.
It was the best day of my life! Yeah, it was such a roller coaster of a game. The Eagles are a great team, but yeah, Kansas City just managed strategy at the end of the game. So good, so amazing.
I guess I should feel good for that young man having the best day of his life yesterday, right? How about this? Quite the opposite. Not the same scene as a group of diehard local Eagles fans watched the game from Coach's Bar and Grill in Southwest Portland. So here is the deal. What is it? Almost 10 minutes after 5 o'clock. In 5 minutes, Rod and I are going to settle up on our bets that we made because his Chiefs were taking on my Eagles in the Super Bowl. One of the things that would have happened if the Eagles had won, you would have worn the Eagles jersey, but
Yes.
obviously not the case here this morning.
Well, this one fits so well. Real quick, before I get into weather, understand, before I get into the graphics, that what we're dealing with tonight in terms of snow, it's a scattered pattern. And like scattered rain patterns, sometimes you get just a little bit of rain, but your neighbor goes, wow, we had like a bucket of rain come down. That could be what we have tonight with snow. Some areas going, well, I don't know. Another areas going, we got more than what they said we would get. Here's a look at my general snow level dropping graphic, if you will. So Valley Winter Weather Advisory starts at 10 p.m. tonight, goes to 10 a.m. That's from the National Weather Service. 6 p.m. tonight, snow level that early could be down to 1,000 feet. That means up in the West Hills. That means, Bull Mountain. That means Hawkinson. That means Sandy. All you folks that live around 1,000 feet, look at that time for whatever rain is falling to change the snowflakes. 3 to 6 inches could fall, especially looking at maybe 6 inches up in the Cascade foothill communities, okay? And then by 8 p.m., notice this is a dropping trend. Now we've got snow sticking as low as 500 feet. 10 p.m. tonight, we've got snow sticking as low as 200 feet. And again, 200 feet is a lot of areas. That includes much of Clark County when you get up into Hazelwood area. That includes Salem. That includes Hillsborough. That includes pretty much all areas south of Salem. And any little bumps, really, in our metro area. Okay, downtown Portland is more like 50 feet to about 125 feet if you kind of take a walking tour through the blocks. I think we'll stay generally in downtown Portland above 32 tonight, but it would be all snow falling. And if there is a little burst, which there may be after midnight tonight, some heavier snow showers, that could get downtown Portland colder than I think and produce some sticking snow by tomorrow morning. Whatever we end up with, it will be all gone just like that tomorrow. We'll actually see some clearing. This model focuses mainly on the Cascade heavy snow, 16 inches coming today through tonight for 5,000 feet, and also the Coast Range. It does give an accumulation of some degree down in Salem of over an inch. Here's the radar right now. Rain from our west getting ready to move into downtown Portland. This is the front that's coming in. Temperatures during the day today, not an issue. 46 in Newport right now, Salem 41, Portland 42. It's 47 out in the Dalles. And with a west wind coming, we don't really expect that much of an issue out in the gorge, but clearly there could be some light snow accumulations. Here we are this afternoon. It's all rain at 1:30. I just want to show you. Yeah, all right, here we are at 11:30 tonight. Now that's mostly snow coming through downtown Portland. 46 today, 43 tomorrow. Whatever we get will start to melt tomorrow, and then we're dry on Wednesday and Thursday, and that's your forecast.